Hey everybody, I'm back, and today I'm here to share an amazing stack of new releases that need to be on your TBR. So many good books in 2021. I have been saying it all year long. And this stack of 10 books is amazing. I cannot wait to tell you all about it. So we better get started. Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's Russell with Ink and Paper Blog. How are you all doing today? As always, I hope you're happy, I hope you're healthy, I hope you are safe, and of course I hope you're reading an amazing book or two or three. It's actually been a bit since I've sat down and done a video. I have been ridiculously busy at work, and after I get off there's just no time to do videos, but I have been reading and I do have an amazing stack of books to tell you all about. So I better get started. Let's get out that pen, that paper, that Goodreads, however you keep track of your TBR. If you are so able, please order one of these books or more from your local independent bookstore, and or if you are a library user, get your library to get you a copy as soon as possible. I have to be honest with you all, I have been practicing because I am a little out of practice when it comes to talking about books. So hopefully I'll get back in the groove of it and all of that, but my job really is to make sure all of these wind up on your TBR. The first book I want to tell you about is out from Algonquin Books. Now, Algonquin actually sent me an entire box of books. I just posted a picture of, I think, 6 titles that they sent me. It's on my Instagram. Go take a look, that have just come out or are coming out. So thank you, Algonquin. And one that came out in September is The Archer by Shruti, Swamy. And this book takes place in the 1960s and 70s in Bombay, India. And our main character is a young woman who wants more than anything to be a dancer, like a world-class dancer, wants to dedicate herself to that. However, there are societal and family expectations that she'll take care of the men in her household, expectations that she'll eventually get married and take care of her husband. And she has to figure out a way. Is there a way to juggle her artistic drive with sort of these expectations of motherhood and wifehood and all of that? So I think that sounds actually really, really good. So this is The Archer by Shruti Swamy, out now from Algonquin Books. And the hardback is just as beautiful as that one, so you should definitely get your hands on it, promise. The next author on this list, I have actually read many of their books, and I'm so excited that they have a new series coming out, and that is Nnedi Okorafor's NOOR, and this is coming out from DAW. And I have to just say, all of her books are gorgeous. So this is the story of a young woman named Ao. That's what she calls herself. She considers herself an artificial organism. It turns out since birth, she's had some issues with her body, and her family has sort of always been right there on the edge of thinking that she needs to disappear. However, she gets in a car accident and things get worse, and a lot of her body becomes augmented. What is the word they used? Body augmentation. And she becomes even more sort of a different person. You know what I mean by that. One day she's at the local market. An event occurs and she is now on the run. People think that she has done something horrible. She winds up meeting a herdsman. This book takes place in Nigeria. I should have said that. And she meets this herdsman and they go on the run together. She, the murderess, he, the terrorist. And sort of it's a story of them on the run together, people chasing them, and also sort of their discovery of themselves. That's Nnedi Okorafor's NOOR, out now from DAW Books. I say out now, that one may be coming out fairly soon. Sometimes they send me the finished copies a little bit early, so I apologize if I am a little bit early on that one coming out, but you know, it's been a while. It's been a while. The next author that I want to tell you about and their new book is The Perishing by Natasha Dion. Can we just take a moment? Out from Counterpoint. This cover is something beautiful. Now, I read Natasha's first book, and that was Grace, and it was good. And she is just fierce. I follow her on Instagram and Twitter, I believe. So I'm a huge fan of her as a person. And she went, Grace was a slave narrative, and this one is way different. It involves time travel and immortal people and all of that kind of stuff. So in the 1930s, our main character, Lou, wakes up in Los Angeles. I want to make sure, yep, Los Angeles, with no memory of who she is or where she comes from or what she's doing. She gets adopted into a family. She winds up becoming a very famous journalist, the first Black journalist at the Los Angeles Times. And she winds up meeting a man who she recognizes she's been drawing his face for ages. And then she starts to sort of put things together and determines that she is possibly an immortal who has been sent back for a certain reason. And I think that's enough to get you interested in this book. So that's The Perishing by Natasha Dion, out now from Counterpoint. And just, you want this cover just on your shelf because it's gorgeous, right? Yeah. Okay, the next book I'm going to tell you about is out from Viking, and it's actually the second in a series. And my book club has actually chosen the first one to read for our next book club meeting. So I'll be reading that one, and then I'll be reading the second one. And that's Richard Osman's The Man Who Died Twice. Now, his first book was the Thursday Murder Club, right? The Thursday Murder Club. This is the story of a group of older people, you know, okay, it's already got into my wheelhouse here, that live in a home together, and they solve and discuss mysteries and murders. And in the first book, they have their first murder, and this is the second murder that comes to their doorstep. One of the characters, like a friend, comes wanting her help. He's been accused of a crime, and then, of course, things go, and it just becomes a romp of good old-fashioned fun. I think it's weird to say books about murder are good holiday reads, but I feel like they just, sometimes a fun, sort of cozy mystery is perfectly what you need to sort of get through the winter months. So, this is book 2, Richard Osman's The Man Who Died Twice, a Thursday Murder Club mystery, out now from Viking. Okay, I believe read everything that's been translated by this author, by this translator that has come out, and that is Domenico Starnone's, and he's translated by Jhumpa Lahiri, out from Europa, and this is his newest book, Trust. I have read Trick, and I have read Ties. And so when Europa offered to send me his newest book, I was like, yes, I loved both Trick and Ties, so I'm super excited to read Trust. This book has a really fascinating premise. So we have a young couple. They are in a relationship together, and as sort of a sign of trust, they decide to tell each other their deepest, darkest secret. But what happens after they tell that secret is they wind up breaking up and going their separate ways. And the man, I think his name is Pietro can't get this woman out of his head because she knows something about him no one else knows, and that is eating him up. That's Trust by Dominique Starnone, translated from the Italian by Jhumpa Lahiri. I think that premise sounds fantastic. I love these covers. I love Europa, all of that. Definitely get your hands on this one as soon as you can. And if you just want to buy all 3 of his books, I can recommend Trust and Ties. They were excellent. And I'm super excited about Trick and Ties. Super excited about Trust. All those T titles getting me all confused. The next book is actually from a publisher that I haven't gotten a ton of stuff from, and that is Biblioasis, out of Ontario, Canada, Windsor, Ontario. But this is a book called As You Were by Elaine Feeney. And this cover is creepy as heck and fantastic. And this book won a bunch of awards. So it was shortlisted for the Irish Book Award Novel of the Year Award. It was the winner of 3 other awards. It was shortlisted for the Rathbones Folio Prize. It was a Guardian Best Debut of 2020 and an Irish Times Best Debut of 2020. So this is a book by a debut Irish author. And she was so kind to comment on my post on Instagram when I got this book. But I'm going to need a little help on this one because it is a little bit more complicated than just a simple summary. So we have Sinead. She's a tough, driven, funny young property developer with a terrifying secret. No one knows it, not her fellow patients in a failing hospital, and certainly not her family. She is confided only in Google and a shiny magpie. But she can't go on like this, tirelessly trying to outstrip her past and immortal feel of her future. Across the ward, Margaret Rose is running her chaotic family from her rose gold Nokia. In the neighboring bed, Jane rarely, but piercingly lucid, is searching for a decent bra and for someone to listen. And Sinead needs them both. So yeah, I was going to have a hard time putting all those people together and making sure. So it sounds like this is a group of women who are all together, all going through something, and who eventually are going to just need each other to get through it. So that's As You Were by Elaine Feeney, out from Biblioasis. And you can get your hands on this now. And that cover is worth, that could be art. That could be on your wall. Okay. How am I doing? I know I'm back at it. I know I'm doing okay in my brain, but make sure you tell me if I need to slow down. I feel like I am talking fairly fast, but I don't want this video to be forever long. You know how that is. You all know that I'm a huge fan of $2 Radio, and when they sent me this copy of I Will Die in a Foreign Land by Kalani Pickhardt, this came out in October, so you can get your hands on it right now. I was super excited. And they have the best little bookmarks too, just so you know. This story is this is interesting because it starts with the back sort of describes it. It starts with this play that was put in 1913, a play called The Rite of Spring. When it premiered in it premiered in Paris. It was so perplexing that riots broke out, and people made this joke that leave it to a Russian. Only a Russian could do that, could cause these riots from this play. But now we're a century later. It's November 2013. We're in the Ukraine. Thousands of people are gathered in Independence Square in Kiev. They are protesting the president at the time's failure to sort of join in referendum with the European Union. He has chosen to go more towards Putin and Russia. And the peaceful protest as it starts becomes violent, and 4 different characters, their lives become interchangeable. I don't know how the play is going to play into that and how all of that's going to go together, but I am utterly fascinated. And $2 Radio has never let me down. So that's I Will Die in a Foreign Land by Kalani Pickhardt, out now from $2 Radio. There you go. Oh, that one sounds really good. I have so much reading to do. I really seriously could take a month or more off of work and I wouldn't even get through half of my books. No, to be honest with you, if I took a month off, I'd probably get through 20 of them. So many good books out there right now. The next one I want to tell you about has the longest title. I love you, but I've chosen darkness by Claire Wayne Watkins. Now, Claire Wayne Watkins wrote, what was the name of her last book? Gold Fame Citrus. I don't know if you all remember. That book was out and everywhere for quite a while. So this is the story of a new mother who has left her young baby at home and is traveling. She's a writer. And she has a speaking engagement in Reno, where she's from. And really all she's bringing along is her breast pump and her self, and she is suffering from significant postpartum depression. And when she gets to Reno, Nevada, where she is from, she just keeps running into people who keep bringing up the past for her. And it's in the desert. The desert has some, its own allure to it. And she keeps meeting people, old lovers, other people. And she can't go back to make any of her mistakes in the past right. But exactly how does she take that and move forward? So that is I Love You, But I've Chosen Darkness by Claire Wayne Watkins, out now from Riverhead Books. So there you go. Riverhead treats me well. All of these, I'm so blessed by all of these publishers, I have to say. Putnam sent me 2 books in the last couple days, and they both are, well, one is one of my most anticipated reads, which will be the last one we talk about, but The Family by Naomi Krupp. You know, when I practiced this before the video, I was able to say Krupkitsky with no problem. I was like, oh yeah, it's Krupkitsky, and then I thought it was fine. Now that I'm on video, of course, I'm struggling. So let me put her name up there. The Family is the story of 2 girls. One, of course, is more of a free spirit. One is a little bit more thoughtful, and they are friends since birth. They do everything together. They're really separated just by a wall in their apartment building. But then one of them, their father disappears, and that sort of just starts a wedge in this friendship. And as life goes on, the women they grow up in tandem, but are they still as together as they were when they were younger? And it says here, on a fateful night, their loyalty to each other and the family will be tested. Only one of them can pull the trigger before it's too late. So this sounds like it's going to be a friendship saga, almost like a sister saga, family saga. It's about choices. It's about choosing family. That's The Family by Naomi Kropkitsky, out from Putnam as we speak, I think. Hold on, let me make sure. I think it's out already, but let me just make sure that I have the date right. You know how it is when you think something is right where you want it to be, and then, yeah, I'm pretty sure this one is out right now. Yes, it's out right now. So, see, there's no magic behind BookTube. Sometimes things just don't go the way that you expect them to, and what do you do? The last book in this video series is Still Life by Sarah Winman. I am a ginormous Sarah Winman fan. I have read everything she's written. And Still Life is so beautiful. And here in America, it is a Good Morning America book club pick. It's on the cover, which I don't love, but I still think this cover is absolutely beautiful. Now, this book starts in 1944. The Allied troops are in Italy, and we have a young man named Ulysses who finds himself in a wine cellar hiding, and he meets a young woman who is an art historian who's come to Italy to try to save the art from what is going on, save it from the rubble. And their interaction will shape Ulysses' life for years and years and years to come. Now, he returns home to London. He goes back into his life. He has friends and a crew that he hangs out with. But he always carries Italy in his heart, in his past, in his mind. And then he gets an unexpected inheritance, and it brings him back to Italy. And it says, Ulysses knows better than to tempt fate, and he returns to the Tuscan hills. So that's Still Life by Sarah Winman. All I know is that Simon has already raved about this book. Many people have read it over in the UK and say it is utterly fantastic. I cannot wait. So again, Still Life, Sarah Winman, out from Putnam. I am such a fan. Thank you so much for this beautiful finished copy, Putnam. Thank you, all of the publishers, for these amazing books. I'm not going to try to hold them up because I'm out of practice from that too, and I don't want to drop everything everywhere. As always, if you are a return subscriber, I could not do this without you. Thank you for your patience. I know that it has been a crazy year, 2021, let me tell you. If you are new to my channel, I hope that you subscribe. I hope you click the button, all of that kind of stuff. It just helps me move my channel along, and I appreciate you being here listening to me talk about books. So as always, I encourage you to read globally, shop locally, and until next time, I wish you happy reading. Goodbye, everyone.